everyone. My name is Lauren Bellamy, founder, one of the editors, and one of the writers and content creators for Hear Her Speak magazine.
Hi, I'm Roshni Agnor, and I'm also a content creator and editor for the magazine.
And today we are going to be actually doing our traditional and monthly Woman of the Month interview kind of thing. Since this month is Black History Month, we wanted to take the time to highlight some Black women that have made a huge impact for our country as well as the world. And so we're going to go back and forth talking about the different women that we have chosen to highlight.
So, to start off, we're going to be talking about Stacey Abrams. This wonderful woman was born in Madison, Wisconsin in 1973. She graduated from the University of Texas with a master's in public affairs and public policy, and she got her Juris Doctor degree from Yale Law School. She served in the Georgia House of Representatives from 2006 to 2017, and she was the first woman to lead either party in the General Assembly in 2010. She ran for governor of Georgia in 2018, but unfortunately, she did not win. However, later on, she founded Fair Fight, which is an organization that promotes fair elections all across the United States, but mainly in Georgia. They also work to educate voters on who they are voting for and educate them on their rights as voters. Her organization helped over 800,000 people register for the elections in 2020. She has published 8 romance suspense novels under the pen name Selena Montgomery, which is a pretty interesting fact, and all of them have been really successful. Next, sorry, you can go.
Next we have Elizabeth Acevedo, read by another one of our staff, Jamie Hill.
Elizabeth Acevedo is a Dominican-American poet, author, and National Poetry Slam champion born in New York, though she currently resides in Washington, D.C. She holds a B.A. in Performing Arts from George Washington University and a Master's of Fine Arts in Creative Writing from the University of Maryland. She wrote The Poet X, which received a New York Times bestseller honor, along with many other awards. In addition to that, she also wrote With the Fire on High, which New York Public Library, NPR, Publishers Weekly, and School Library Journal called the best book of the year.
Thank you, Jamie. Next we have Toni Adeyemi. Toni Adeyemi was born in the United States in 1993. She has also written her best-selling novels and Hugo Award-winning novels Children of Blood and Bone and Children of Virtue and Vengeance, both a part of the Eraser Chronicles. She graduated from Harvard with an honors degree in English literature. She's also on the 2020 Forbes 30 Under 30 list. She was also named one of Times Magazine's 100 Most Influential People. She teaches creative writing on her website, which was also named one of the 101 Best Websites for Writers by Writer's Digest.
This iconic woman, Maya Angelou, has done many things in her life. She is a poet, a civil rights activist, a writer, a mother, professor, and icon. She was born on April 4th in 1928 in St. Louis, Missouri, and passed away on May 28th in 2014. She grew up in St. Louis as well as Staples, Arkansas. She's known for her powerful autobiographical works like I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, in which she was also nominated for the National Book Award, as well as The Heart of a Woman and Gather Together in My Name. Miss Angelou also has received the Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Barack Obama in 2011 for her heroism and beautiful works. Angelou's notable work, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, started a wave of Black feminist works in the 70s to now, thanks to her bravery, to be able to speak up against personal tribulations and experiences as a Black woman. Miss Angelou was also the first Black female director in Hollywood film, television, and plays.
Next, we have Amanda Gorman. Amanda Gorman is a poet and activist known for her work centering on oppression, feminism, race, and marginalization, as well as the African diaspora. She was born in 1998 and is currently 22 years old. Gorman was named as the first National Youth Poet Laureate in 2017. This prestigious award is given to those who demonstrate skill in poetry and/or spoken word, are strong leaders, are committed to social justice, and are active in civic discourse and advocacy. Gorman studied sociology at Harvard College and graduated in 2020. She was inspired to work in social activism after watching a speech by Malala Yousafzai and aspires to run for president in 2036. Gorman published a poetry book, The One for Whom Food Is Not Enough, in 2015. 1 year later, she founded the nonprofit organization One Pen, One Page, a youth writing and leadership program. Thus far, Gorman is most widely noted for her reading of her poem, The Hill We Climb, at the inauguration of President Joe Biden on January 20th, 2021. She is the youngest poet to read at a presidential inauguration. She has 2 books scheduled for release in September 2021, and directly after her performance at the inauguration, both were at the top of the Amazon's bestseller list.
This woman needs no introduction, but I will be introducing her anyway. Vice President Kamala Harris is the 46th Vice President of the United States of America. She is the first Black person as well as the first female to ever have held this position, which is absolutely incredible. She was born in Oakland, California, and previously, before she became Vice President, she had served in the U.S. Senate and as an Attorney General in California. She is also the first Indian American in the U.S. Senate and the second Black woman in the U.S. Senate as well, which is also amazing. As a district attorney, she worked with cases regarding gang violence, sexual abuse, and drug trafficking, and she's also a leading advocate for social justice reform.
Next, we have Bell Hooks. Ms. Hooks is an author, professor, feminist, and social activist best known for her analysis of connections between race, gender, and social class. Bell Hooks is a pseudonym of Gloria Jean Watkins, based on Watkins' grandmother's name in honor of her legacy. The name is purposefully written in lowercase as a statement that her identity matters less than her ideas. She was born in a segregated Kentucky town in 1952, which greatly influenced her upbringing. She is now 68 years old. Hooks taught English, ethnic studies, African and Afro-American studies, and women's studies in universities like the University of Southern California, Yale, Oberlin College, and the City College of New York, taught from the mid-70s until the early 2000s. One of Bell Hooks' most influential works is Ain't I a Woman, in which she cites historic evidence of sexism faced by Black female slaves and explains the lasting effects of that treatment on modern Black women. Her book, Feminist Theory, examined the previous definition of feminism, which is more exclusionary than it appeared. She introduced a concept of intersectionality, a more holistic idea of feminism that encompasses race, class, and sex in addition to gender.
Toni Morrison is a famous novelist, essayist, writer, and professor. She was born on February 18, 1931, in Lorain, Ohio, and passed away a couple years ago on August 5th, 2019. Toni Morrison was the first Black woman to win a Nobel Peace Prize, thanks to her novels that detailed the Black female experience. She also won a National Book Critics Circle Award in 1977 and a Pulitzer Prize in 1988. She was also awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Barack Obama in 2012. Miss Morrison was the first Black female editor at Penguin's Random House Publishing Company. Considering all of the topics she wrote about, Miss Morrison's novels are both critically and socially acclaimed. Some of her most famous works include Beloved, Song of Solomon, and The Bluest Eye.
Next, we have our forever First Lady, Michelle Obama. First Lady Michelle Obama is a lawyer and a writer, as well as the 44th First Lady of the United States and the first African-American First Lady, mother to Malia and Sasha Obama, and the wife of President Barack Obama. She and her brother both learned to read by the age of 4 because their parents had stressed the importance of education. She attended her city's first magnet school for gifted students and was was student government treasurer, and graduated as a salutatorian. She graduated cum laude from Princeton University in 1985 with a bachelor's degree in sociology and received her JD in 1988 from Harvard Law School. Here, she also participated in demonstrations for the enrollment/hiring of more minority students and professors. She also worked at a Chicago law firm before realizing that she truly wanted to work with people to serve their communities. She became University of Chicago's Associate Dean of Student Services in 1996, and as First Lady, her four main initiatives were advocating for healthy families, Let's Move in 2010, service members and their families joining forces in 2011, and higher education, Reach Higher in 2014, and international adolescent girls education with Let Girls Learn in 2015. We also have another reading from Jamie.
Morgan Parker is a poet, essayist, editor, and novelist. She was born on December 19, 1987, in Southern California, where she currently resides. She holds a bachelor's in anthropology and creative writing from Columbia University and a master's of fine arts in poetry from New York University. She's known most notably for her poetry collection, There Are More Beautiful Things Than Beyoncé. She also wrote Magical Negro, another poetry collection, which won the 2019 National Book Critics Circle Award.
Nick Stone was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. She is a New York Times best-selling author who graduated from Spelman College. Because she grew up around multiple cultures, she strived to incorporate her experiences into her works. Some of her most famous works include Dear Martin, Jackpot, and Dear Justice. Her debut novel was Dear Martin, which gave a glimpse into American race relations. Her second novel, Odd One Out, explores sexuality, love, and friendship. She works in teen mentoring and does many workshops and lectures aimed at teenagers. She challenges people to write about important issues because that can break the status quo.
Next, we have Nick Stone's best friend, Angie Thomas, who was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. She was a former rapper and young creative writer and got her degree from Belhaven University. She's the author of The Hate You Give, which debuted on the New York Times #1 bestseller list, as well as her novels On the Come Up and her most recent novel, Concrete Rose, which is the prequel to The Hate You Give. She is an advocate against racism and police violence. This is one of the main themes discussed in her novels as well. Her book was adapted into a movie in 2018. She says, I looked at books as being a form of activism. Sometimes they'll show us a side of the world that we might have not known about.
Lastly, we have Alice Walker. Alice Walker is a writer and feminist who provided insight into African American culture, mostly with a focus on women, through her novels, poems, and short stories. With her novel, The Color Purple, Walker was the first African American woman to win the Pulitzer Prize for fiction. The film was later adapted into a film by Steven Spielberg, and a musical version was produced by Oprah in 2004. Walker's other literary works bring attention to sexist violence and abuse and racial tensions. She coined the term womanist, meaning a black feminist or a feminist of color. Walker met Martin Luther King Jr. as a student at Spelman College in the early 1960s. His message influenced her enough that she decided to return to the South and participate in the civil rights movement. On March 8, 2003, also known as International Women's Day, Walker was arrested, along with 26 others, for crossing a police line during an anti-Iraq war rally. She documented her experience in the essay, We Are the Ones We Have Been Waiting For.
That is all we have so far, but I also want to take the time to acknowledge a woman who just passed away last night, Cicely Tyson, who is definitely one of the biggest icons in the Black community, as well as just Hollywood as well. She was 96 years old, and her legacy will completely change the trajectory of how films are made in the future, as well as just being able to stick up for yourself and be able to play roles that you would like to be able to play and represent yourself the way you want to be represented. And she did that so much for Black women. And so I just wanted to take the moment to recognize her and appreciate all the amazing works that she was a part of. Thank you all so much for sitting and watching this with us. We had a lot of fun being able to talk about all of these amazing Black women. Make sure to give this video a like and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And
without further ado, see you guys next month for the next issue.
Bye.